in Snohomish County, working with partners like Providence Regional Medical Center, Kaiser Permanente, the Tulalip Tribes, and Everett Community College. One thing I really want to say is our people love being in this community. They love working here. They're passionate about contributing to the communities in which we live and work. Events like today are part of that contribution and commitment. And by coming together, we can optimize results for our customers and ensure we drive economic growth within our communities. At Mortenson, we don't just build buildings, we build for the greater good. And this means we consider the long-term health and vitality of our community in all we do. This includes our team members, the community, and the planet that we live. It's about doing the right thing. It's about building people up, helping them succeed. It's about making a positive impact today and for generations to come. We want to prioritize diverse and small business participation in all of our work. This inclusive culture really extends beyond the office walls out to every job site we work on, ensuring historically underrepresented individuals and communities have a chance to lead and thrive. Here in the North Puget Sound, we're actively engaged with local organizations like Housing Hope and other philanthropic organizations in our commitment to community welfare. We're devoted to sustainability practices and actively reducing our carbon footprint by taking on the contractor's commitment. Mortenson holds a Salmon Safe certification, meaning we are committed to and have demonstrated that our construction practices reduce pollutants, improve erosion control, conserve water, and ensure that stormwater runoff is clean. We're also excited to share that later this year we'll finish construction on the Kaiser Borisari Hall, which will be the first higher education STEM building to achieve a net zero energy and net zero carbon certification, which is just amazing. So if you'd like to learn more about Mortenson, I'd love to connect with you and chat with you later this evening. And thank you for being here. Thank you for the work and the part you have in making this a great place to live and work. So just want to say thank you, and I'll give it back to Wendy. Thanks. Sorry, I stole your papers.
I'm sorry, I have to take a picture of everybody. Can you, like, this is amazing. Can you put your hands up? Can you say hey? Hey! Thank you, thank you, thank you. I mean, when you see how many people, I mean, it's like Christmas up in here. Next, I want to introduce our friends from Boeing, Susan Champlain, the Senior Director of State and Local Government Operations of the Northwest Region of the Boeing Company.
Hello, everyone. So before I start, I have been asked to make a request. So can you guys in the back please scoot in? If there are empty seats, come forward so we can get folks who are outside the room in. We would really appreciate that. Thank you. There you go.
Look at all the seats.
Come on forward. We'll wait. All right. Thank you, everybody. Appreciate that. So on behalf of the Boeing Company, we are thrilled to be here today, very happy to sponsor this amazing event with so many of you who came, so thank you for being here. We appreciate it. As you all know, there's been a lot of news about the Boeing Company lately, so I'll say a few words about that. All of us were shocked and horrified by what happened on Alaska Airlines Flight 1282, and every single one of us knows and is committed to ensuring nothing like that ever happens again. Our CEO, Dave Calhoun, came out very quickly after the accident saying, "We own this." And since that, we have been taking big steps to ensure it doesn't happen. So we're making improvements like having our leadership teams go down on the floor in what we are calling safety stand-downs for full days and full shifts in Renton and also here in Everett on every airplane program so that employees can tell the leadership, here's one thing that we could fix to make the process better. Here's something we could do to improve employee safety and quality of building the airplane. And our leadership is taking all those inputs very seriously and taking action to change those things very quickly. So we're doing all sorts of work like that in the hopes that we can fix things quickly, and we will get through this. And we can't tell you how much we appreciate the support of this community as we go through this. So now on to happier things. I'm happy to say that starting in January, the Boeing company now employs more than 66,000 people in the state of Washington, which is a big increase from a couple of years ago after the pandemic. And as those of you here in Everett know, a big chunk of those folks are right here in Everett, and we're very proud of that fact. We've been here, in fact, since 1967, when the first Boeing production workers arrived here in Everett. And on May 1st of that year, the major assembly buildings opened their doors for the first time. And then the factory has gotten bigger and bigger ever since. And we're very proud of that. So we're also proud of the fact that Boeing and our employees together are committed to giving back to the community. We have been supporting for a long time organizations here in Everett like, now I've lost my place, I apologize. Great organizations like the Boys and Girls Club, HopeWorks, and other great nonprofits that we are happy to help the community with. And I will also say, in Everett, we continue to get orders for our wide-body airplanes, which is great for our workers here, and also for our military products like the KC-46, the refueling tanker. We just delivered one to Japan, and that completes 6 of their orders, which is half of what Japan has already ordered for the KC-46. And we've so far this year delivered 54 commercial airplanes, and there's continued strong demand for those products. We're getting great new orders for our commercial airplanes, despite things that are going on. So, for example, earlier this month, American Airlines ordered 85 737 MAX airplanes, and Ethiopian Airlines announced an agreement to purchase 8 Everett-built 777-9 airplanes. So we continue to get orders, and we'll have a big backlog that requires our workers, to build airplanes for years and years to come. I also will say that this year we are celebrating the 75th anniversary of our Boeing Employees Community Fund. It's an employee-run organization. Employees give money, and they elect leaders who manage those pools of money to give out to nonprofits in the community. It's a great organization, and we're really proud of their work and the fact that we've been doing this for 75 years here. Again, I just want to say thank you, particularly to Mayor Franklin, who's been hugely supportive of the Boeing Company, all of you elected officials here in the room, and the Economic Alliance. Together, we will move forward, and there's lots of good things to come, so thank you.
Next, I'd like to introduce Avery Thompson, the Vice Chair of the Mayor's Youth Advisory Board and Everett High School student.
Oof, this is an intimidating crowd. Okay, good afternoon, and welcome to Mayor Cassie's annual State of the City address. I'm Avery Thompson, a student at Everett High and Vice Chair of the Mayor's Youth Advisory Board. It's an honor to introduce Mayor Cassie Franklin today. Growing up here, Mayor Franklin's work to move Everett towards a better future inspired me. So when I first got to meet her and interact with her on her youth advisory board 2 years ago, it was a joy and a privilege. The board is a shining example of the mayor's dedication to uplifting diverse youth voices. She understands the value of listening to young people, providing us avenues to attend educational meetings, learn about available resources, and, most importantly, to advocate for our concerns, both with her and in Olympia. Mayor Franklin even hosts a paid part-time student internship position that supports our work on the youth board and on the communications team. Shout out to Saran Mulugeta right there. And what's more, her interest in the arts, evident by her support for events at not only places like the Historic Theater, but also at our local schools, further displays her will to uplift not only youth voices, but also the voices of artists. Since taking office on January 1st of 2018, she has been making history as the first elected female mayor of Everett. Let's give some extra round of applause. Because it's Women's History Month, after all, so that's just so good. She broke a massive barrier and works for the people from an important perspective, one that understands fighting for your voice to be heard and respected. From this standpoint, the mayor works for everyone, prioritizing issues such as violence prevention, behavioral health, and the city's prosperity. Overall, Mayor Franklin's commitment to open government and diverse representation underscores her dedication to serving all members of the Everett community. Thank you, and without further ado, it's my honor to introduce the Mayor of Everett, Cassie Franklin.
Thank you, Avery. Whoa, I'm really loud. I apologize. Thank you so much. That's my favorite introduction ever. And I think that next year I'm just going to have you deliver the State of the City, if that's all right. Is everyone ready? All right. So I'm not really this kind of person, but Wendy said I need to take a selfie from up here because it's way fuller than it was when she did. So I'm going to try. Okay, everybody. Look like you're having a good time. Oh, wait, no, see, I'm doing a video. That's why they don't let me do this. That's seriously why I'm not allowed. Okay, one more time. Here we go. Yay! Okay, all right. So good afternoon. This is really cool in here, isn't it? I was super impressed. It's truly a pleasure to be with all of you today. And I'm sure you've noticed we're doing things a little bit differently this year's State of the City. With so many big things happening in South Everett, we decided to bring the event to South Everett. But before I get started, I want to acknowledge our sponsors again, the Boeing Company, Mortenson Construction, Alaska Airlines, North Sound Media, Port of Everett, Lisk Puget Sound, as well as our host, the Everett Mall. And I'd like to thank the Economic Alliance of Snohomish County and the great partners we have who have storefronts today. Thank you so much. I also want to take a moment to honor our wonderful partners, the Tulalip tribes. Thank you very much for your leadership and care of our community. And a thank you to our elected officials in the room. As a fellow public servant, I know how busy you all are, and I appreciate you taking the time to join me this afternoon. Thank you. I especially want to thank our Everett City Council. Council President Don Schwab, Vice President Ben Zarlingo, Council members Scott Bader, Mary Fossey, Paula Ryan, Judy Toohey, and Liz Vogely. You are an exceptional group of people. I appreciate your high level of engagement, your dedication to our neighbors, your passion for the work, and your strong desire to do what's best for our entire community. It's an honor to serve alongside of you, and I look forward to another year of collaboration and progress on our shared goals. Finally, I want to express my deep appreciation for our entire City of Everett team. Whether in facilities, public works, parks, public safety, transit, or our administrative offices, each of our team members consistently goes above and beyond to serve our residents. Our team members work long hours, and it's because of their incredible dedication that we have such outstanding services and amenities in our city. I'm incredibly proud to work with each and every one of you. Thank you. Today, we're here to celebrate our beautiful city, this past year, and other key moments, as well as look ahead to our bright future. Everett was incorporated in 1893, and since then, we faced many periods of transition and transformation, much like we're experiencing today. Throughout our history, people in our community truly believed in the potential and promise of Everett, and to this day, this is one of our many strengths. Early on, this hope and belief transformed the forest between Port Gardner Bay and the Snohomish River into a booming mill town with industry dominating the waterfront. And with our successes also came challenges: depressions, fires, industry shifts, pandemics, and other tragedies. And while I can't say we always got out unscathed, Everett has found a way through it every single time. This is what's created our sophistigritty identity. Sophisticated and cultured, but still pretty rough around the edges and really quite scrappy. Everett was and is a place where bankers rub elbows with tradespeople. A rough tavern might be next door to a classically designed theater. There's a sense of realness here. It draws people in and allows them to find where they belong. And that's one of the things I really love about our city. 2023 was a big year for Everett. It was filled with impressive growth and expansion for many of our businesses and key industries. We've seen major new developments with significant projects throughout the city, including on our waterfront, riverfront, and of course here at the mall. These changes are the results of decades of careful planning, strategic collaborations, and bold investments to completely transform our economy and create new opportunities for our community. We've transitioned from cutting down trees and other environmentally destructive industries to leaning in and focusing on the recruitment and development of a new green economy, which supports job growth and helps combat climate change. Today, as I highlight great things currently in our near future, I'll touch on some of the serious challenges we're facing, especially the drug crisis, our housing crisis, and violent crime. And I'll share what we're doing to address these public safety and quality of life issues, ranging from helping individuals to growing to meet the need, to advocating for big picture changes and more. And I'll walk us through a bit of our rich history and how we got here and where we are going along the way. Please, as you're sitting here, enjoy the beautiful pictures all along the hallways here. That's thanks to our team. And if I get really long-winded, please go get a drink. It's going to be a while. So like many of you, I'm a parent. I'm a very proud and often worried mom of a brilliant, sweet high schooler. I honestly cannot believe she's already driving. And I often think about what we can do today to ensure a bright future for her, for kids like Avery, and for all the young people in our city. Ensuring their bright future requires us to balance priorities, thinking about the present while planning for the best possible tomorrow. And one of the best investments that we can make in our future is our education system. Even before Everett was a city, it had the Broadway School with one teacher, Emma Ewell, and 26 students. Within months, the school was overflowing with young learners. And this demand continues today. Last year, Everett and Mukilteo school districts served over 35,000 local students, and both districts continue to grow. Everett Public Schools has invested heavily in kindergarten readiness programs, putting more students on the right track toward literacy, on-time graduation, and success in their life and career. And Mukilteo School District is just one of 3 districts piloting a new program by Washington Education Association that offers a fast track towards becoming a special education teacher. Thank you to both our superintendents, Dr. Ian Saltzman and Dr. Allison Bernelson, for ensuring our students have the care, quality educators, and support they need to succeed. Success in elementary school and beyond often starts with early childhood education. So I'm proud to see the major investments in this area, like $20 million from Snohomish County. A huge thank you to Executive Summers and his team, as well as County Council Member Megan Dunn for their support of early education. I'm proud our City Council is also investing heavily in early learning. Together, we dedicated $1 million of our COVID recovery funding to Housing Hope's new Childhood Development Center. We also provide space at Everett Station to host the Everett Bezos Academy, which provides free preschool to 60 local kids, Plus, we provided financial support to Everett Community College's Early Learning Center. We are very proud of our higher education institutions in Everett as well. The amazing growth, development, and innovation in Everett Community College is impressive. Starting out as an old elementary school building in the 1940s, they've now transformed much of North Broadway area into a college district. Last year, Everett Community College opened its new resource center, launched a new 4-year degree program, and began offering cutting-edge cybersecurity training, an extremely important priority for our city's critical infrastructure in today's world of cyber attacks. I'd like to thank their new president, Dr. Shameen Crawford, and her entire team. Great work, and so good to have you here today. We're also proud to have Washington State University Everett, which opened in Everett just 7 years ago. Even in the short time, WSU Everett has already made quite an impact. In 2023, their rocket team qualified for the NASA Student Launch Design Challenge, and WSU recently began a new partnership with Amazon to provide local employee education. And beyond exceptional programs in STEM education, WSU Everett also has courses in business, communications, and other high-demand fields. I want to thank Chancellor Dr. Paul Petrie and his entire team for advancing higher education in our city. In addition to our exceptional schools, parks have been an important part of Everett since the very beginning. Shortly after incorporating, our first 2 parks were opened, City Park, renamed Clark Park, and Forest Park. Today, we have over 40 parks in the city, including hundreds of acres of park and open spaces and miles of trails and walkways. And our work is far from over. We've committed to having a park within a 10-minute walk for all our residents and are continuing to seek innovative options for making that happen. Last year, we finished the Silver Lake Trail, added a new dog park at Jackson Park, and replaced the playgrounds at Thornton A. Sullivan and Howarth Parks. We opened our first fitness trail at Hannibrook Park. 5 activity stations were added with options for different abilities, thanks to the generous funding from County Council member Megan Dunn, who's also providing funds for our new dog park at Clark Park. Looking to the future, the Parks team has additional great projects in the works, continuing our efforts to make these shared spaces more accessible and welcoming. We're making improvements to Loganberry trails, installing a new all-abilities accessible playground at Wiggums Hollow, and adding smart lighting to Jackson, Lyons, Kiwanis, and Clark parks that minimize light pollution while still promoting safety. I'd like to thank Bob Leonard and our entire incredible Parks team for all you do for our community. Looking back to our city's beginning, many of our services started off as community-led efforts, like our library, which was established by the Everett Women's Book Club in the late 1890s. The group petitioned the mayor and city council of the time for support while working to build the library's book collection, operating out of the McFarland home on Colby, with eventually a few rooms at City Hall. The club's advocacy helped Everett receive a Carnegie grant to design our official library, and thanks to a generous financial gift and voter-supported bond, we now have 2, our main library and our Evergreen branch, which underwent a major renovation expansion in 2019. Our Northwest room, which is run by our team member Lisa Labovich, is another point of pride and the best resource for learning about Everett's history. I highly encourage you to visit. I want to thank our library director, Abby Cooley, and our entire library team for their dedication to delivering high-quality library services and all they do to share and preserve Everett's history. Our libraries provide essential community service in offering access and information, the internet, books, programs, and so much more. And that's why we're doing everything we can to ensure library services remain robust and available for generations to come. And the arts are another beloved part of our community, conveying emotions and telling stories in a way that words alone cannot. This year, Everett is celebrating 50 years of the arts. In 1974, Mayor Bob Anderson established the 1% for the Arts and our Arts Commission. That same year, the Arts Council of Snohomish County was founded, later renamed after John and Ida Mae Shack, longtime supporters and promoters of the arts. From this, our thriving arts and culture scene developed, and today these efforts live on through our local artists, our dedicated advocates like Councilmember Tui and her team at the Shack, as well as our Cultural Arts Commission. Last year, we unveiled a new sculpture, Stuart Nakamura's Amangeya, designed to reflect our community's experience during the pandemic. And thanks to a National Endowment for the Arts grants, Tulalip artist James Madison created a beautiful new art installation for the Everett Municipal Building. The art recognizes, honors, and celebrates the original inhabitants of these lands, the Shtohobs people, and shares part of their story and the culture of their successors, the Tulalip tribes. Thank you. Coming up on April 11th, we have the Wendt and Mayor's Art Awards at the Everett Performing Arts Center, which is a great opportunity to reflect on the past year in the arts, celebrate our vibrant art scene, and recognize the people behind the art. And so I hope to see you all there. One of the most important responsibilities as a city is ensuring the safety of our community. While many factors contribute to the quality of life, keeping our residents safe is always a top priority. In our beginnings as a mill town, our livelihood depended almost entirely on wood, making a fire a serious risk early on. So in 1892, the Everett Volunteer Fire Company was established. These volunteers did the best they could with very minimal supplies, a few ladders, axes, buckets, and some rope. Less than 10 years later, after many serious fires, the city created its first professional paid fire department, hiring our first fire chief and 6 firefighters, and building our first fire station. As the city grew, we recognized the need for emergency medical services and started our EMT program in the 1970s. Today, we have close to 190 firefighters and operate 6 fire stations equipped with multiple fire engines, ladder trucks, aid cars, medic units, and more. Plus, now all our firefighters are certified in life support care, and a number of them are full paramedics. True to our department's mission of being there for our community, the team stands ready to come to our aid whenever we need them. And last year, that totaled more than 27,000 calls. With the increased presence of fentanyl and other synthetic drugs, our fire department responds to many overdoses each week. So sadly, a 911 call about multiple overdoses isn't rare. Last year, our team was called to a senior apartment complex where 3 seniors had overdosed. Crews arrived quickly, administering naloxone and providing life-saving care. Thanks to our team's efforts and quick response, everyone survived, but this really highlighted just how serious and widespread this drug crisis is. I want to thank our fire and EMS department, especially Fire Chief Dave DeMarco, for being the trusted and respected leaders that we can rely upon. Beyond the need for fire services, community safety also relies upon law enforcement. Early on, our officers traveled on horseback to break up brawls and investigate local crimes. Over the decades, our department has continued to grow and change, and today I'm proud to have what I know to be the best police department in the state, thanks in large part to the people serving and to our department's leadership. Last year, when Chief Templeman retired after 31 years of service, I appointed Chief John DeRoos to take the reins, and with his 25 years of service prior to becoming our chief, he's doing an incredible job of leading our team. I truly appreciate him and our EPD team members for their commitment to safety and everyone in our community. Thank you. Locally, we've seen an increase in violent crime. So last year, we launched our Violent Crime Unit. The team puts dedicated resources toward investigating serious incidents, and they immediately have made a significant impact. This team's work has led to numerous violent and dangerous offenders being apprehended. In one case, an offender with more than 10,000 fentanyl pills and a stolen gun in their possession. Thank you to our VCU for getting those illegal drugs and that individual off our streets, and thank you for your hard work to reduce violent crime across our city and region and helping keep our neighborhoods safer. Because crime doesn't stop at city lines, joint efforts like our Snohomish Regional Drug Task Force are essential, bringing agencies like ours together to stop the flow of drugs into our community. Many of our safety challenges are bigger than Everett, which is why my fellow Snohomish County mayors and I joined together to form our Public Safety Coalition. We speak with a united voice to advocate for the changes needed in our communities to keep people safe. And through our continued advocacy, we're pushing to improve the behavioral health system, better hold violent offenders accountable, and support law enforcement. I want to thank Marysville Mayor John Nearing, Lake Stevens Mayor Brett Gailey, and Sultan Mayor Russell Witta, as well as my other failed mayors that are here today, including Mukilteo Mayor Marine, Linwood Mayor Frizzell, Granite Falls Mayor Hartman, and newly elected Edmonds Mayor Rosen, as well as any other mayors that I missed. Thank you. I have remained a strong supporter of increased police staffing, including advocacy in Washington, D.C. to help our city secure essential grant funding and adding 18 sworn police positions in the last 6 years, bringing us over 220 budgeted FTEs. Together with my fellow mayors, we continue to advocate for more statewide training and recruitment to address police staffing shortages and ensure safer communities. Law enforcement is a dangerous job, and this is underscored by the tragic losses our community has faced. Recently, Trooper Christopher Gadd lost his life in the line of duty, and our hearts go out to his loved ones, his friends, and his Washington State Patrol family. And next week, it will be 2 years since we lost one of our own, Officer Dan Rocha. Dan was killed in the line of duty, confronting a dangerous individual in broad daylight at Starbucks in North Everett. In October, we officially unveiled Officer Dan Rocha Way right next to that location. This roadway honors his life, legacy, and commitment to serving our residents in the city, and is a daily reminder of the risks taken and sacrifices made by our first responders every day. Dan died protecting this community, and we will never forget him or the sacrifice he made that day to keep us all safe. Somebody's having a party over there. Okay. To increase community safety, we're also focusing on crime prevention, stopping unwanted weapons from ending up on our streets, investigating and closing cases, helping hold offenders responsible, building trust and relationships with our community, and much more. We are exploring new technology options that will enhance our ability to protect our residents and investigate criminal activities. In the coming months, we hope to secure grant funds and pilot a gunshot detection program and other tools for addressing gun violence. And our therapeutic court program and other diversion options continue to help people get into a better path. With an additional $220,000 of grant funding, our municipal courts are expanding these important programs. I want to thank our municipal court judges and staff, as well as our hardworking and dedicated prosecutor's office. All across the city, our teams are collaborating to address many safety issues we face, including encampments, graffiti, park safety, and other concerns our community shares. Our residents and businesses, too, are helping improve safety by utilizing our Everett at Work app to notify our team of issues and keep us informed of any concerns you're seeing. You each play an important role. You are our eyes and ears, and you know the challenges of your neighborhoods better than anyone else. This is what makes our community engagement so important. I'd like to especially thank our neighborhood leaders, our board and commission members, and many other volunteers that dedicate their time to the betterment of our city. Going back over 100 years, Everett has incorporated social services into our public safety efforts, helping us address the changing needs within our community. In fact, one of the first women to work within our police department, Belle Gardner, was involved in the very beginnings of social work in our state. Today, we are fortunate to have an amazing city council that recognizes the importance of behavioral health and remains committed to investing in and supporting our work in this area. Through our community support team, we've embedded social workers into our police, fire, and library departments, connecting individuals and families in need with treatment, shelter, medical care, and other services. The relationships developed by our social workers encourages folks to make important life-saving decisions to improve their situation. Incorporating social workers was a big step for our city, but now we want and need to think bigger. First, we are launching an innovative new pilot program that will bring addiction treatment directly to those who need it most, eliminating barriers to receiving help. Meeting people where they are, physically, mentally, and emotionally, and bringing counseling, peer support, and treatment to those on our streets is going to be a game changer and will save lives. I want to share my appreciation for our partners, Dr. Roby, an emergency physician at Providence, and medical director of our county's diversion center, Jacob Grillo, owner and lead provider of Concord Clinic, and Jeffrey Gaudry, a nurse practitioner, as well as Kelly, who leads our social worker team. Thank you for all you do to help those struggling in our community. Our next big step will be launching an alternative response program, creating a new option for how our city responds to calls for service involving individuals who are experiencing a behavioral health crisis. We know that in some situations involving law enforcement or EMS is not necessary and may not be the best option, but currently those are the only options we have. With alternative response, we could instead send trained behavioral health specialists to work with the individual in crisis to de-escalate and connect them to relevant services with the goal of long-term health and stability. We are excited to bring this program to life, and I'd like to thank Senator Patty Murray for her strong support of this life-saving work. And none of the work I've just described would be possible without the amazing leadership from our Community Development Director, Julie Willie, and her entire team. Thank you for your strong leadership, your compassion, and your dedication to helping those in need. The fact is, the problems we're encountering today with fentanyl and synthetic drugs are incredibly severe, unlike anything we've seen before, and the solutions we have are not enough. Unfortunately, I can speak from personal experience. My family has tried everything to help my younger brother, Chris. Chris has struggled for years with untreated behavioral health issues and addiction. We'd love for him to be somewhere safe, getting the support he needs. But even with the access to resources and my own deep understanding of how these systems work, it's been nearly impossible for our family to help him. Our story isn't unique. My team and I hear from families that are desperate for any way to help their loved ones. More than anything, I wish there was more we could do as a city for these families. Our city, like so many others across the country, needs more tools and better options, and this must include ways to help people we know are seriously struggling, but for whatever reason aren't ready or don't want to accept that help. The severe lack of options is one of the reasons I launched the Mayor's Drug Crisis Task Force earlier this year. The group brings together those with lived experience, business leaders, law enforcement, nonprofit partners, healthcare providers, and others to take a hard look at the issues and our current solutions and come up with new ideas. I'd like to thank the volunteers of this important task force, as well as Councilmember Ryan for being a part of it, and I look forward to their work in the weeks to come and receiving their report and recommendations later this year. And again, I want to express my appreciation for Senator Patty Murray and Maria Cantwell, who've both been advocating hard on our behalf to help get the resources cities like ours need to combat our drug crisis. Thank you, Senators. Of course, a top priority for any community is housing. In Everett, this traces back to the arrival of a carpenter from Massachusetts named Dennis Brigham. Dennis staked his claim to 100 acres in 1861 and built a small cabin where he lived alone with no neighbors for miles. 3 decades later, 5,000 people lived in the newly incorporated Everett. Land had been cleared and settlements began to sprout up. Dennis's property now belonged to the Ruckers, who were planning a new town site. By 1908, Everett had its first apartment building at 25th and Colby, offering 20 units intended for young couples and bachelors. And over the decades, the rest of the city developed, with new communities and increased density, creating today's city of Everett. Currently, housing is one of our most pressing challenges. Nearly half of our residents devote more than 30% of their income towards housing, and for some, it's over 50%. We're lacking diversity of housing options at all price points, plus significant population growth is on the horizon. That is why we must continue to be fiercely pro-housing. Growth is inevitable and unavoidable. It's happening faster than we can build the supply, creating many of the issues we're seeing today. We must prepare for this growth and work collaboratively with our neighborhoods to welcome additional density and protect our quality of life. Over the past 5 years, we've made significant progress on housing, adding over 2,400 homes throughout the city, and there are 2,200 more in progress and coming soon. Through our Housing Action Plan, we're making it easy to build in our city, with improvements to permitting, incentives for multifamily developments, and a streamlined process for adding an accessory dwelling unit like a small cottage or apartment on your lot. I'm grateful for the work of our state, as well as our City Council's leadership on advocating for more middle housing. Duplexes, triplexes, and other smaller scale developments help us add units while also preserving the look and feel of existing neighborhoods. And in the background, our planning team works tirelessly to set our city's course for smart future growth through our comprehensive plan. Thank you to our planning director, York Stevens-Wachta, and the rest of our team for planning for our future and their dedication to our community. Even with our strong efforts to increase housing supply, homelessness continues to be a real challenge in our city and region and all across the country. Thankfully, Everett is served by a number of extraordinary faith-based organizations and nonprofits that help those in need and make our community that much stronger. I'd like to thank Housing Hope, Child's Drive, Bridgeways, Cocoon House, Rise Up Academy, the YMCA, Volunteers of America, the Boys and Girls Club, Work Opportunities, and all the other awesome faith and nonprofit partners that are here today. We are so very fortunate to have you in our community. Through partnerships, we've increased local shelter options and ensured that programs follow best practices to help minimize negative impacts on the community. We are proud to have 2 pallet shelter communities in the city, 40 units next to the Everett Gospel Missions Men's Shelter, again thanks to our City Council for investing American Rescue dollars to create this program, and our newest pallet community, Faith Family Village in District 3, provides a safe place for women and children to get back on the path of stability and self-sufficiency, again thanks to a generous investment from Congressman Larson. Pallet has played a really major role in addressing our shelter needs, and I hope you had the opportunity on your way in to check out the Pallet unit that was just right outside as you entered today. Plus, Pallet works as an organization to create jobs, apprenticeships, and has an incredible workforce development opportunity for those in recovery. So I do want to make a special thank you to Amy King and her entire Pallet team. These programs serve as some of our greatest needs and highlight our greatest strengths as a community, the care we have for each other and the hope we have for our future. Throughout our history, people have been willing to bet on Everett. Bold investments have carried us forward to new economic opportunities, significant growth, and major infrastructure improvements. In Everett's first 30 to 40 years, investments in new railways, highways, and bridges drastically improved our connectivity to the rest of the region. Payne Field in Everett was established as a post-Great Depression works project and today has become an aerospace center and the best boutique commercial terminal in the nation. By far the most impactful early infrastructure investment was our water system, which has ensured access to safe, reliable water for generations. I have heard so many times from mayors that have water issues and concerns, but because of our early and continued investment in our infrastructure, we are well cared for in this area. After originally relying on a local stream, Everett made significant investments into its water infrastructure, developing a watershed within the Sultan River Basin. We added a new dam and reservoir, and then in the 60s and 70s made upgrades that quadrupled our capacity. Because of this, we are able to provide water to our residents, the Tulalip tribes, and 75% of Snohomish County. I also want to thank Congresswoman Del Bene for securing important funding to restore hundreds of acres of salmon habitat in the Chinook Marsh, including supporting the moving of our drinking water line. Our Public Works team continues this tradition of investing today to ensure we're ready for everything to come tomorrow. By replacing in-ground reservoirs, we are building our water resiliency for the next century. We're also making strategic investments in other projects, like bridges, to maintain critical infrastructure and maximize the opportunity to incorporate additional public benefits. The best example of this is the Grand Avenue Park Bridge, which opened in 2020. The bridge serves as an important function, carrying our utility pipes while also providing improved pedestrian access to our beautiful waterfront. Soon we'll start construction on the Edgewater Bridge replacement, which will ensure safe travel along West Mukilteo Boulevard. Mayor Marina and I are going to look forward to that. A safe place for drivers, bikers, pedestrians, and everyone who uses the roadway. And we're working with Everett Community College on a new pedestrian bridge that will make it easier and safer to cross Broadway Avenue by the college. A special thank you to our incredible Public Works Director, Ryan Sass, and his entire team. You are truly our superheroes. As our city infrastructure progressed, our transportation system grew and changed as well. In Everett's first years, transportation options were quite limited, but soon electric streetcars carried our residents throughout the city, and an interurban train connected the region. Bus service entered the picture in 1920s, initially private, but became a city department in 1969. Today, our Everett Transit operates 7 days a week, including most holidays, and the Everett station serves as a regional transportation hub and career development center. And much like the streetcars of the past, we are working towards having a fully electric fleet with 19 electric buses in service and more on the way. And by fall, Sound Transit Light Rail will open in Linwood. Congratulations, Mayor Frizzell. This is an important step. Light rail is going to transform our community, better connecting us to the region and the region to us. Light rail will bring workers, visitors, friends, and family members to our job centers, festivals, restaurants, businesses, and more. Sound Transit will also bring billions of dollars in new investments and job creation, including many family wage construction jobs. I want to thank our labor partners like Liuna Local 292 and all the hardworking tradespeople that play a key role in bringing light rail to our communities. And I'd like to thank all the tradespeople who joined us here today. You have built and continue to build our city and region. Thank you for your hard work and dedication. We know light rail will bring growth and change, especially in South Everett. To prepare our community, we're partnering with residents and business leaders locally to develop strategies to preserve affordability and the quality and character of our community. Our goal is to preserve what we have while creating new economic and growth opportunities for our local residents and businesses. While business and industry are important in Everett, we have always been a work hard, play hard kind of community. And early on, drinking was one of the top leisure activities. Before the first church was chartered, the very first licensed saloon opened, the Gem, which was conveniently located near the end of Hewitt, next door to the news and tobacco shop of State Representative and our first undertaker, John T. Rogers. And while saloons and brothels remained popular, there was also a desire for more tasteful entertainment, leading to Everett's Theater opening in 1901. The theater was ambitiously built to hold about 1/6 of the city's population at the time, and almost immediately started attracting top acts. To this day, the historic Everett Theater remains a beautiful venue, hosting a variety of great events throughout the year. And now we are also proud to have the Village Theater, the Angel of the Winds Arena, and a multitude of smaller venues bringing music, plays, comedy, and other fabulous acts and events. And Everett is also a vibrant place for sports. I know you've heard me talk about our love and appreciation of the Everett Aqua Sox, and We are definitely a baseball town, and I will talk more about that in a bit. But first, I want to congratulate the Everett High School girls basketball team for placing 6th in the state. And to Cascade High School cross-country star Jacob Hopkins, congratulations on being the 2-time ambulatory state champion and maintaining a high GPA. Way to go. To help create tomorrow's football stars, we have the Mariner Junior football team, which teaches kids the fundamentals while also instilling a strong sense of community pride. I want to congratulate Terry Lott on becoming the organization's new president. Everett is proud to be home of our brand new team, the Washington Wolfpack, competing as part of the new Arena Football League. And yeah, go ahead, okay. I played Powder Puff, I'm a football fan. And our Everett Silvertips made it to the playoffs once again. That's 20 out of 20 seasons. Congratulations, Tips. Looking ahead to 2026, the FIFA World Cup will be in the U.S. with 6 matches scheduled in Seattle, including the U.S. men's national team match. With our close proximity to Seattle, we are working to become an official fan zone, which will bring World Cup fun, investment, and excitement to Everett with public viewing, events, and so much more. I'd also like to thank our awesome Snohomish County Sports Commission for working to bring events and promote athletics throughout our region. Thank you. With springtime here and summertime near, our event season is about to kick off, which is very exciting. I'm looking forward to our signature events like Sorticulture, as Wendy shared, and Everett's 4th of July Festival. Plus, we'll have the Farmers Market, Everett 3-on-3 basketball, Fisherman's Village Music Festival, and our newest event, Geek Fest West. I don't know what it is, but it sounds really, really cool. Everett also has great new shops, hotels, businesses, bars, cafes, and really fantastic places to eat. I highly recommend checking out Red Chili, Black Forest Mushrooms, Frying Lemon Fish, 1611, the Colby Cup, Cup and Crepe, the Colby Club, Cup and Crepe, Chick-fil-A, and the brand new Heritage Restaurant. And while you're here today, I hope you enjoy Chef Dane and Sound to Summit Brewing. I'd like to thank our great economic development partners like Economic Alliance of Snohomish County, the Downtown Everett Association, Everett Station District Alliance, the Greater Seattle Partners, and others for nurturing and growing our businesses in our city. Our port is another economic driver and major tourist draw, but it didn't start out this way. During World War I, the waterfront was occupied by private industry, and our residents voted to establish a port, hoping to secure wartime work for Everett. Since then, the Port of Everett has become an economic hub. Today, it supports billions in regional economic activity and thousands of jobs. Through redeveloping the former Kimberly-Clark mill site, over 1,000 jobs were created at the new Norton terminal. The port has also welcomed new businesses like Fisherman Jack's, South Fork Bakery, Sound to Summit Brewery, The Muse, Woods Coffee, and there's more on the way. Thank you to Port Commissioner Tom Steiger, who's here with us today, and the full port team, as well as our longshoremen, Local 32, and the many other hardworking maritime industry workers, including Everett Ship Repair. At the riverfront, we are in the midst of a complete transformation. For nearly 60 years, much of the area was used as a landfill and then became the site of the infamous tire fires in the 80s. Thanks to the foresight and advocacy of past city leaders, this formerly vacant site is being reborn as a bustling riverside hub. Hundreds of homes have already been added, with more to come, along with new commercial, retail, and business spaces, including a new entertainment tenant that will add pickleball courts, which are definitely in high demand. I'm especially excited to see the new park come to life at Eclipse Park, which will add improved river access plus a pier on our river. I'm proud to see this previously underutilized site becoming such an important center in important, impactful ways. And we can't talk about the transformative development of today without mentioning our Everett Mall, which is celebrating its 50-year anniversary. The Everett Mall opened in 1974, and by the 80s, it was the place to be. Much later, malls across the country began to shutter, and shoppers' tastes were changing. So for the last few years, we've been working closely with the team at Brixton and who are the owners of the Everett Mall. We wanted to see the space reimagined to better meet our community's changing needs, and now a major redevelopment has begun. Trader Joe's and Ulta are in their new units, and a new store called At Home is coming soon. And nearby, we also welcomed Chick-fil-A and the Angry Crab Shack. In the next few days, I look forward to announcing a top new entertainment anchor, which will be coming to the Everett Mall. This tenant will be transformative, attracting visitors from throughout the country and beyond for positive, family-friendly fun. For today, I wanted to share the sneak peek of what's to come by introducing the new Everett Mall, which Brixton has dubbed the Hub at Everett. Construction is underway as they develop much of the mall, making the space more walkable and open, and working to bring a variety of additional exciting tenants. Construction is supposed to wrap up in early 2026. So a big thank you to our partners Justin Long from Brixton and Grove Ayers and Angelique Ashton from JLL for everything you're doing to revitalize this important community space and for all your help and the beautification for today's event. Thank you. In addition to everything going on at the mall, there's amazing growth happening throughout Southwest Everett as the epicenter of our city's biggest industries. One we are known for, of course, is aerospace, thanks to the Boeing company's strong presence here for the last 60 years. I'm incredibly proud of this partnership and that it lives on today. Right now, Boeing is going through an incredibly tough time. Here in Everett, we are all connected to Boeing in one way or another. Boeing machinists and SPIA members are our friends, neighbors, and loved ones who we know care deeply about the safety of their planes and take great pride in their work. I believe in our local aerospace workforce. I believe in our local aerospace suppliers, and I'm incredibly proud of everything Boeing's workers and its partners have built here in our city. And this legacy of aerospace is continuing with a special focus on sustainability with Snohomish County's creation of a new sustainable aviation fuel center of excellence. Again, thank you to Executive Summers and his team and the entire Snohomish County Council for supporting aviation and protecting our environment. Another industry with deep roots in Everett is healthcare. Our first hospital, General Hospital, was founded in 1894 with the site eventually becoming Bethany Home and then Compass Health, which is now being redeveloped into a state-of-the-art behavioral health facility. Providence has provided care in our community for over 100 years, initially converting the Monte Cristo Hotel into a 75-bed hospital. Now Providence has locations across the city and thousands of employees. Thank you to Christy Carrington, their CEO, for your partnership and leadership. Kaiser Permanente is also currently expanding their Pacific Avenue campus with a massive redevelopment by Mortenson. And we're also proud to have many other great clinics, specialists, and providers in Everett, including the Everett Clinic, Seattle Children's North, Community Health Center, and more. On behalf of the city, I want to express my sincere appreciation for many healthcare workers and nurses who provide the important life-saving care our residents rely upon. And Everett is also a proud Navy town. Naval Station Everett remains an important part of our community, as it's been for 30 years since we beat the Port of Seattle and others to become Navy's home port. Might be a little happy about beating Seattle sometimes. Naval Station Everett plays an important role in our national security as the most advanced and modern military base of our Navy. For the past 6 years of my administration and many years prior, we've advocated for growth of the base, so it's exciting to see that happening in just a few short years. In 2028, we will start receiving the 12 Constellation class frigates that are scheduled to home port in Everett. We very much look forward to welcoming these new ships, sailors, and their families to our community. Thank you to Naval Station Everett's commander, Captain Joshua Menzel, for his incredible service to our country, the care he has for both his sailors and our community, and his partnership. Hang in there, I'm like at 28 out of 32 pages, we're almost there. Key to our city's legacy is a long-lasting passion and drive for innovation. Everett has always been a place to make things, but more importantly, it's a place to dream and push the envelope of what's possible. We started off as a mill town, using the trees that filled this land to build our city, literally and figuratively. But now we are more focused on sustainability and innovating to make the world better, to change the world for the better. This promotes a healthier environment, but also a healthier economy, with more industry diversity and increased opportunities for entrepreneurship and job creation. Continued and increased growth within our new green economy is incredibly important to our vision of Everett's future. Everett will remain a city of makers, and we're seeing this within the thriving clean tech industry that's taken root here. Helion and Zap are leaders in fusion power generation, and I'm hopeful that this year they'll crack the code on making their technologies more widely available. Both built new, expanded facilities in 2023. And big things are happening in green aviation as well. Last year, Magnix's electric engines powered Aviation's electric plane on a maiden voyage. Magnix also delivered an electric propulsion unit to NASA. And ZeroAvia, named America's top green tech company by Time magazine, looks forward to their first commercial sales of zero-emission hydrogen electric engines next year. TerraPower, which was founded by Bill Gates, is working towards clean, safe nuclear power and pioneering new cancer treatments using this technology. With the completion of Soundview and SmartCap's Bakerview industrial campuses, we now have state-of-the-art space available for those who want to make it in Everett. The next several years will be incredibly exciting, filled with more firsts, innovation, new businesses, and growth to come. The work being done here in Everett is going to change the game again and again, and it's only just begun. We've worked hard to steward and recruit companies, especially in these key industries, making it easier for them to open and remaining supportive of them for the long haul. As I've said before, Everett's companies and industries are going to change the world. This year, we will also complete the Everett Point Industrial Center Bridge Study, moving us one step closer to putting the city-owned property near Snohomish River into productive use as a new green industry hub and home for our public works. Since the site is only reachable by crossing train tracks, the new bridge will drastically improve access to the site, allowing for new development, plus additional much-desired riverfront access for our residents. I'd like to thank, again, Representative Rick Larson for advocating on our behalf to secure the resources to make this crucial infrastructure improvement happen. Finally, minor league baseball has been in Everett for over 40 years. First the Giants and now the Aqua Sox. We are getting close to yet another fantastic year for our beloved team. And after making it to the finals last year, I am hoping to see them bring home a championship in 2024. The Aqua Sox were recently elevated to a higher caliber of play, which is fantastic, but with that came new field requirements from Major League Baseball, which currently our Funko Field does not meet. The council and I remain fully committed to doing everything we can to keep the Aqua Sox here in Everett for generations to come and ensure we remain the region's entertainment and sports hub. We have a great opportunity ahead of us to partner on the development of a new outdoor facility as the future home for our team and venue for other fun events throughout the year. Our city is carefully considering our options: remodel Funko Field, build something new at the current field, or build a new stadium downtown. Our City Council, together with Snohomish County Council, expressed strong support for this work through a joint resolution, and our state has also stepped up with a large $7.4 million investment towards a new stadium. Thank you to Senator Robinson, Representative Fossey, and Representative Cortez for your advocacy, leadership, and support. The new facility will be built as a public-private partnership with investments from the team ownership, government, and others, and will ultimately energize our economy, generate revenue for our community, and ensure Everett remains the sports and entertainment center for our county for decades to come. I'd like to thank our team owners and managers who are here today, as well as all our Aqua Sox fans and season ticket holders. Before wrapping up, I'd like to share a real brief story from our early days. In the 1890s, the silver panic hit the United States, causing an economic depression so severe the city had to shut off its streetlights. Around the same time, Everett was battling the city of Snohomish to claim the title of being the county seat. Local Everett businesses and community leaders united on a full-scale campaign because they wholeheartedly believed in our city and our future. Ultimately, our effort was a success, and Everett became the county seat in 1897, and our residents celebrated the win for our scrappy young city. This forever changed the course of our history and put us on the path that we're on today. Like then, Everett is facing some serious challenges. We have a financial deficit, a housing and drug crisis, and other challenges ahead. But that's actually what makes this the perfect time for us to consider big, innovative ideas and take bold steps. Throughout our history, this city has encountered and overcome many difficult situations. Time and time again, we've seen our leaders and this community swing for the fences, giving it their all, and leaving everything they have on the field in pursuit of a brighter tomorrow and a better future. And against the odds, these efforts and bold investments have led to so many great new beginnings. Everett always has and always will be a place for innovation, for making important things, starting businesses as well as families, building homes, and creating community. And we will remain a place that honors our past by living up to the legacy and values of those who came before us, and having an unwavering belief in what can be accomplished when we work together. This is who we are and what Everett represents. I want to thank everyone, whether you're watching this live or on a recording later, for being a part of this community and a part of our vision for the best and brightest tomorrow. It's my honor to be your mayor. A big thank you to our city communications and engagement and facilities team for all their work on today's event. And thank you again to our incredible city council for your leadership and vision. Thank you all for joining us here today. I look forward to our continued pursuit of a better and brighter future that's more prosperous for everyone. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you for your leadership. Thank you for your partnership and collaboration. We're not quite done yet. I want you just to consider for a quick second that that selfie will probably be in a mayor's presentation in 60 years after they dig that up from the archives. We want to thank our sponsors, the Boeing Company,